Would you like to create an animation like this and be able to add this wave effect to your own graphics? You are at the right place. All you need to do is to watch this video. Hello, my name is Mustafa Hissam and we're going to animate this wave effect in After Effects. It is really easy to make. It just requires some small adjustments. We're going to learn all about them. I have a graphic here and we will be applying this effect to it. As you can see, he is floating in the air with his cape. I want to make it look like the wind is moving his cape and apply a wave effect to it. So let's make it. When you have an image that you want to animate, usually you will have to separate different parts since they are not in different layers, and then apply the wave to the part you want. Okay, let's start. When you select the image, make sure that the picture is transparent. To check it, you can disable all the layers you have. As you can see, here my layer doesn't have a background. And if you click on this option called Toggle Transparency, you can see that it is transparent and we can apply our effect with no issues. So make sure your image is separated from the background. Okay, I enable the layers again and press Shy for this layer. I don't want to see other layers here. I will make working a bit easier. I select the pen tool and separate the part I want via a mask. Okay, enough talking. Let's go and actually do it. I want to separate this part of the cape. I start drawing a straight line from here. You need to draw this exactly on the part where you want to animate. Since I want the end of the cape to move in the wind, I draw my mask from here. Make sure you have the layer selected before drawing the mask. I create this mask like this, on the part that I want. As you can see, the cape is not separated and the rest is hidden. So now we basically have this part of the image selected. When you create a mask on your layer, that part is shown and the rest is hidden. It is not deleted though, so don't worry. I select the layer from here and press Ctrl D. It will create a copy of the layer. I open this lower layer and go to the mask menu. Then set the mask type to Subtract. As you can see, now the mask is visible. The other layer now has this part. When you have it on Add mode, it will only show you the part that you have selected. But on Subtract mode, it will show the rest of the image. So keep that in mind. Now that we have it selected, it is time to apply our effect. This one is our second layer. You can press Enter and rename it to avoid mistaking them. I name it Cape. Now you can go to the Effects and Presets tab or use the Effects Console plugin to apply the effect. It is called Wave Warp. I searched for it here. If you don't have an Effects Console plugin, you can check Video Copilot website and download it from there. It is free and with it, you won't have any issue finding the effects you need. I applied Wave Warp here and as you can see, there are some waves on the character's cape. As you can see, the direction of the waves isn't quite right here. Also, there's a white line here. To fix this, I need to go here and select the mask. You first need to select the layer. Then, when the path appears, you can select a multiple of these points by holding down the Shift button. Both of them are now selected. Then all you need to do is to move it a little by pressing the arrow keys on the keyboard. Now that the white line is gone, we can move on to adjusting the effect. I select the layer and as you can see, we have a parameter called Direction. This is the direction of the waves, which is actually the direction of the wind. We wanted the wind to blow to the left. So I set it like this. Not that it is working perfectly. I think now the wave is a little intense. I want to adjust these parameters a little. This is the height of the wave, which as you can see, has a big effect on the waves. I feel like 10 is enough for it. I think we should also increase the wave width. You can increase it manually like this, or select it and hold Shift, then press up and down arrow keys on keyboard. I will change it to 10 at a time. Let's see how it looks. I think it is looking good now. There's only one issue. Since we have separated and the rest of the picture doesn't have a wave bar effect, it is showing on this part and the audience will notice it here. It will be a bad idea to do it like this. There are still some steps to finish this technique. When we have this part selected, we want these connecting sections to be still and have the motion on the rest of the cave. To do this, we need to use another effect. I go here and open FX Console. You can open it by pressing Ctrl Space if you have it installed. I apply Transform effect to it. This effect has the same transform parameters as the layers. We use this to keep the main layer transform untouched and be able to get two separate transforms at the same time. We have the effect here. I take it and put it on the top of the wave bar to apply it before that. As you already know, the effects have an order as well, and the way you order them changes how they apply and how they interact with each other. Here, as you can see, we have drawn a line on the right side of the layer. If I disable it, you can see it better. We have drawn a straight line on the right side. The parts where we need to fix are also on the right side. What we need to do is to select the layer and move it to the right side of the composition using this position parameter. You can change it one by one to get it exactly on the edge. I have changed the position from the effect menu. Now I want to change the layer's position itself. Select the layer and press P. It is now enabled. I start taking it back to where it was. I enable this other layer to see what I'm doing. I put it to where it was. Slowly move it to the left. Okay, so far so good. You might say that it still doesn't look good. It is because we are not done yet. In Wave Warp menu, go down here and find Pinning option. It will decide which part of the image is still and not moving. Set it to the right edge and we can see the result. It looks really good and there's no sign of the issue at all. Just make sure you watch the edges and it will have no more issues. No one will notice that we only have a section of the cape selected and animated. Very easily and cool. The rest of the adjustments is also very easy. You can make it move faster to convey faster wind blow. These will be your personal taste and you can change them however you like. Okay, let's move on to another example. I want to do different examples to see different situations where you might be in need of such an effect. No one will become a good motion designer with 1 or 2 practices. You need to keep practicing. So let's do the next one together. Also make sure you give a thumbs up if you are enjoying this tutorial and leave a comment. So let's move on to the second example. We have a lady here, and this effect is commonly used for female hair. I have downloaded this image and then took it into Illustrator. Sometimes the part that you want to use in animation is blocked by other parts. This woman's hair is not hidden behind her body. I am not going to spend an hour or 2 on masking this out by hand. Also, the results won't be good anyway. Sometimes the file that you download had its layers when you take it in Illustrator. I press Shy button so you can better see what I'm talking about. You can see that I have the separated layers here in Illustrator. The head and body are in a separate layer. The hair and background are also in their own layers, so each element is separated. You sometimes need to take the graphic into Illustrator and separate the layers, then import it into After Effects. Sometimes you don't get a clear cut between the layers and you will have to do it manually. Let's go and start making the wave effect. I press Shy again. I have the hair layer here. There is something else to take into consideration. We don't want the hair to have wave from top to bottom. The effect should start, say, from here. How can we make it? Select the pen tool. Always make sure that the line where you want the effect to start should be a straight line, no matter where it is. On the left, right, top or bottom. There should be always a straight line for this effect to work. I want this border line to be here, on top. We want the wave to be from here to the bottom. I click here Hold down Shift and draw a straight line. Then here, here, and finally here, and connect it to the first point. It is cutting the hair a little. Let's select this one. As you already know, we can click on this point, and when the mouse cursor turns white, it means you can select the points on the path. So select this point and hold down Shift button, then take it to the left. Okay, so far so good. Just like the previous example, I duplicate this layer as well. We want to have this part of the hair that we cut. Open this second layer, go to Mask and set it to Subtract mode. Now that the layer is there, we don't need this layer anymore. So go to the other layer, select it and apply it to the shape. But there will be a problem with this effect this time. Let's see. If I increase the wave height, for example, I should make the mask bigger so that there's no empty space in between. Let's see the direction downwards as well. Still not looking good. Reduce this one. Not bad, but still not looking very good. There's a reason for this. It is very important to note. Not everyone will tell you this point, and you might have to go and figure this one on your own. Some shapes have this issue. If I disable the effects right here, this hair has some waves on its own. Some graphics have a very wavy shape on their own. This cape had a very small amount of wave, so it wasn't as bad. This one has a wave and you want to apply wave on top of this, which will make it look a little weird. My suggestion for this type of hair is to delete it and then draw a straight one yourself via a pen tool. I select the pen tool. Let's disable this for now. Make sure you don't have the layer selected. It will draw a mask instead if it is. Click outside the layer to deselect it. Then go here and start drawing the hair with the pen tool. Add the first point here, the second one here, just like that. This is the straight line we need. For the rest of the hair, I go here and put another point. Make sure you hold down Shift to draw straight lines. We have a very straight and solid hair here. Put it behind the other layers. Now we have a hair layer. Then I go to the original hair layer and copy the wave effect and then paste it on the new one. Also, I have disabled it, so let's click here and enable it. As you can see, we can have that wave effect much easier on this new shape. I go to the settings, the wave height is good. I take the wave width and increase it. 120 looks good. You can see that the wave effect is looking much better like this. The rest is up to you. You can change these values however you like. I feel like this looks good on 10. There were some other steps if you can remember. We have the border line of this hair layer on the top side. This is the layer and this is the upper part of it where we drew the straight line. So I go here and set the pinning on top edge. But there's still another step that we should do. I go here and search for the transform effect. If you don't have the effects console plugin, you can select the layer and go to the effects and presets menu. It takes a while to load. Click here and type transform. Take it and drop it on the layer. Put it on the top of the wave warp effect. Let's move on. Where was the border line on the hair? It was on top of the shape. So take it to the top of the scene. Take it to the edge of the comp. Looks good up here. Now open its position and take it back down. Put it on its original position. It is as easy as that. I would be surprised if anyone still had any issues with After Effects. Okay, we have the connecting part, and the pinning is working good as well. I just need to move it a little to the right to match the top. As you can see, there's still a little inconsistency up here. We should fix that too. I'm trying to show you the problems that you might face when you want to make something like this. I try to show you the problem first and then the solution. This is one of the issues with this effect. When you select top edge in the wave warp settings, it will choose that border line based on the composition, and this is one of the short limits of this effect. It will not be based on the shape itself. That is why we use transform to take it up there to match the composition and then bring it down. Apparently, this didn't fix it either. This usually happens with the shapes, not with the pictures. The reason is that the picture is usually full screen and it matches the composition size. And we use a mask to separate the part and then use that. That way the application will know the original size of the picture. It will be matching the size of the composition. This is not the case when you draw a shape. In such cases, you need to pre-comp your shape. The solution was making a pre-comp of the shape, but something was missed back there. In that comp, you must place the shape on the top and leave it there. And here in the main comp, you can take this pre-comp and place it wherever you want. When you have wave warp effect applied to the hair in that composition, it won't have any issues, because there it is actually on top of the comp. So we can instead move that comp anywhere we want. That will solve the issue. I feel like some people might not have understood, so I think it is better if I show it to you. I right click and pre-compose it, name it hair. Now when I press OK, it will create a separate composition of this hair shape. I take it and put it on the top of the comp. Now that it is on top, let's zoom and see if the problem is still there. Let's see it without the background. As you can see, it doesn't have that movement anymore. It is because this wave warp pinning only cares about its position in the comp. It should pin from the edge of the composition. It wasn't working before because it was not on the top edge of the comp. As you can see, it is not moving anymore. Back to the original comp. We have the hair comp here. I take it down here and place it where I want. It should also go a little to the right. Let's hope it works this time. As you can see, now it is working perfectly. When you have such an issue with wave warp effect and pinning is not helping, you need to pre-comp it. Then put it on top of that comp, or any side that you need. And finally, put that comp where you need, in the original comp. This one example had this many tips and lessons in it. This is why I insist on checking different practices. Let's move on to the third example. This one is also an easy one. We have a candle here, and we want to give the flame a wave motion. What should we do here? We need this one to be from bottom to top. Once again, I select the pen tool and go to the bottom of the shape. I start selecting it. Don't worry about the small threads below it. I try to make it as precise as I can. Just like this, I draw the lines around the flame. It won't be like the previous one, since it is not a shape. I make a duplicate, open the second layer and set the mask on subtract mode. There might be a small issue with the borderline. Well, apparently it is working fine. So let's move on. Select the layer and apply the wave warp effect to it. Apply it to the layer. Set the pinning to bottom edge. Also, set the direction to up. Then give it the transform effect. Take it and put it on the top of the wave warp. Since the straight line is on the bottom, we should take it downwards. Drag it down and put it on the bottom of the composition. A little more. Move the position a bit more. And that's it. Looks good. Now go to the layer itself. You can select the layer and hold shift, then press up arrow key on the keyboard to take it higher. There's no need to press P to open the position either. This is moving the layer's position and not the transform. Put it back here, just like that. Let's watch it and see how it looks. You can see that there's no issues and the rest of the image is still. Let me put this on third or quarter resolution. My PC is not responding. It will give us a smoother preview. You can go here and change these the way you like. I increase the width and also the speed. It looks a little better. That's it for this candle flame. We'll learn this cool effect with these 3 examples. It can help you a lot in motion graphics, and it will have many use cases. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Also subscribe to the channel to see future videos. We will have many more videos about After Effects. You can leave a comment down below this video, or you can ask for any specific tutorial you like to see me make. Thank you for being with me. I will see you in the next one.